Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting a new reading challenge for myself. I have never done one of these, but we're going to do a 48-hour readathon just to see how much can I really read, and we're just going to go and hop into some of the books I plan on reading. I'm going to start with my top 4 from my stack because these are the ones that I definitely want to get to and that I should be able to get to, knowing myself. So the first one is Ashes to Ashes, Crust to Crust by Mindy Quigley. This is part 2 of the deep dish pizza mystery series, and I am so excited for this. Not only did I just pick this up from the library, but Butterball is front and center on the cover right there. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. This is going to be so fun. So this one does look nice and summery out with the nice like kind of festival outside. Basically the plot for this is our main character Delilah. She opened a deep dish pizzeria in Geneva Bay, Wisconsin in the first book. I really loved the first book. It was amazing, and she is continuing to try to get her business off the ground and maximize the summer, which is the most profitable time of year for her with like the tourists and stuff coming in. So she is entering this like Taste of Wisconsin culinary contest to try and like, you know, basically get some hype around her business, and you know there's like a prize and everything and like a featured publication. Then kind of tragedy strikes because there is somebody else who's entering the contest, and they are her name is Jordan, and she's a juice bar owner, and Delilah's ex-fiance is actually cozying up to Jordan. It looks like they're a thing now, so there's kind of mixed feelings there, kind of being awkward. They're co-parenting Butterball the cat, and yeah, I'm really excited for this to see what the mystery is. I really enjoyed book 1. Like I said, Delilah's a very type A perfectionist kind of character, and I relate to that a lot, a little too much unfortunately, but I enjoy reading about her, and Butterball is a hoot. So super excited for this. One of the thrillers that I'm really excited to get, I just grabbed it from my library, it's brand new release, is She Started It by Sian Gilbert. I think pretty much everything I'm featuring is a new release, just about. So we have a lot of new ones. This one sounds really interesting. So we have 4 kind of primary characters. We have Annabelle, Esther, Tanya, and Chloe. They're best friends, or they were as children, but now they've drifted apart. They're in their adult years. You know, maybe they're still friendly, but they've drifted apart over the years. But then suddenly all 4 of them get an invitation to this all expenses paid for bachelorette party in like a tropical island. But the weird thing is that it's from this girl they knew, Poppy, and none of them were really close with her. But they kind of figure, well, she's paying for it, and it's like this luxury, you know, resort, I want to say. Yeah, 3 days of white sand cocktails and relaxation on a luxe private island in the Bahamas. So we have that nice isolation trope, which I love. And what could be better than this for a summer thriller? I mean, you got the bachelorette party, you got the summer, the island, the Bahamas. Perfect. And then of course things start to happen. They're starting to wonder about Poppy's reasoning for inviting them. I'm excited for this. It sounds really, really good, and this cover could not be more summery. It also says that they have no cell service because it's very remote, and they quickly discover that they've underestimated Poppy and each other. As their darkest secrets are revealed, their tropical adventure morphs into a terrifying nightmare. So I think that'll be great. I'm planning on trying to maybe stagger like thriller, cozy, because thrillers are, you know, faster to get through because of the pacing, and then cozies will break it up, give it a little more lightheartedness. I can't read too many thrillers in a row, otherwise I start to get paranoid. So I feel like that'll be a good combination. I know that I really want to read Misfortune Cookie by Vivien Chien. This is the Noodle Shop mystery series. It's one of my all-time favorite cozy mystery series, and this just came out this June, like very late June. So by the time I'm reading this, it's less than a week from the release date, and I am so excited. Basically, we have our main character, Lana Lee. She works in our family's noodle shop. She's kind of like in a managerial position. She does like hostess work. She's really great at what she does, but she can't cook, which I think is always, she kind of gets, you know, teased by her family for that. And she's got an older sister, Anna May, who she butts heads with a lot. They're very different in their personalities, and they're also both stubborn, so, you know, siblings. But in this one, it actually takes place out of the normal Asia Village, which is the plaza where the noodle shop and other like Asian establishments like restaurants, and there's a spa, there's a bar, there's a CD shop, bookstore, etc. This one takes place in California because Lana and her older sister Anna May and her Americanized Aunt Grace are all going out there for some different events. But at one of the restaurant conventions, Lana witnesses this big fight between a journalist and the fortune cookie vendor, and later on one of them ends up dead. So then her and her sister and her Aunt Grace have to kind of pretend everything's normal while they're looking into the case because they don't know who to trust. So excited for this. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. Like I said, it's one of my all-time favorite cozy mysteries, so when this came out, I knew I'd have to read it very quickly. The next thriller I picked out is another new summer release I was very excited for, and that is The Good Ones by Polly Stewart. So really beautiful cover here. So this one involves kind of themes of friendship, which I'm excited for. Basically, years ago, we have our main character, Nicola, and her friend Lauren, and the last time she saw Lauren was when she was, like, keying a car. Like, she was keying some red, like, Chevrolet car, which is a little strange, of course, and then later that night she mysteriously disappears without a trace except for like a bloody washcloth or like handkerchief left behind at the scene, and then a grieving husband and her daughter. So really strange. No one has ever seen Lauren since, and Nicola decides after all these years to come back to her hometown, but it's really strange because a lot of people have moved on and they're not talking about it, and maybe they don't want to be talking about it, we don't know. So Nicola's finding it hard to dig up information. She keeps looking online, she's trying to ask townsfolk, and she ends up actually getting a job at the school, I guess, or maybe they were students, or maybe that's where her daughter went, some kind of connection there, and she thinks that if she digs in enough, she'll really be able to find the secrets in her hometown and discover what happened to her friend. I'm very excited, and this summer, like, this cover could not be more summery, so this one sounds really fun. Hi guys, it is Saturday morning. We went to the gym this morning. I read some of Ashes to Ashes, Crust to Crust on the treadmill while doing like a power walk, not actually running. That would be probably dangerous and very talented all at once. I'm not that talented, but I'm gonna give you guys an update on this while I make myself a sandwich because we got back, I did a little more reading, showered and got dressed, and I'm so hungry right now, like incredibly hungry. So we're gonna make a sandwich and talk about this. Okay, so I'm really enjoying this book. I have a feeling this could definitely be a 5-star read, so I'm very excited because last month, I'll link my reading wrap up from last month, but June wasn't the greatest reading month. I do have some homemade bread. I've been making all of our like regular like sandwich bread all year, and it's been really nice. The only thing I hate about it is it's really hard to slice it like thin because it's really dense. It's really delicious, but I'm really bad at this, so these slices could be pretty bad. We'll see. But I'm absolutely adoring book 2. Okay, we got one slice. That's not too bad. I'm adoring book 2. I feel like I'm getting to know the characters more. I really, really love it. Of course, I love Butterball. Butterball is the most adorable cat. I love reading about Butterball's hijinks. You know what? That actually went better than I thought. Every time, it's because I said something about having a hard time cutting thin slices, and this is actually a really good slice. So, anyways, we have some Dijon mustard, and I'm doing ham and cheddar because that's what we have left over right now for some sandwiches. But I'm loving the story so far. It's moving along so quickly. It just went in a direction I wasn't expecting. I'm currently on page 166, which is about just like a hair over halfway. We're getting to learn more about Delilah's best friend Sonia, who I really liked in the first book in the series, so I'm very excited to learn a little bit more about her, see what we got going. I love mustard, guys. I could eat. We're doing that. The book has been really fast-paced. We immediately got into the mystery like within the first 40 pages or so, very quickly, I would say. I'm so interested in how this mystery is going to conclude. The writing has really surprised me because I gave book 1 a 4 stars and I really loved it. I remember some really witty parts and one-liners and just some really, great writing, of course. But this book is hilarious. Like, there's some really funny bits where I was actually chuckling out loud to myself while I was reading. So last of our ham there, but that should make for a good hearty sandwich because I need some food. not too shabby. So I also have some leftover salad. It's not as fresh looking as it was when I made it last night, so don't judge me, but I'm gonna add a little veggies to this. Honestly, this is more of salad toppings than anything at this point, but I'll take it. Okay, so that is our lunch, or kind of more of a brunch at this time of day, but it'll be good because I am really hungry. So I'm gonna start to read a little bit more of this while I eat lunch, and I will give you guys an update. But I'm really enjoying, like I was saying, I feel like there's some really funny one-liners in this and some like inner dialogue that I'm just sitting there and I'm nodding my head like, yes, Delilah, I know how you feel, Delilah, because I'm also, you know, a pretty type A perfectionist type person myself, just like she is. So I really appreciate all of her inner dialogue. Makes me feel a little more sane. So that's always enjoyable. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm super excited. I'm anticipating this could be a 5-star, which makes me so happy because last month was a rough reading month. It was very mixed bag, a lot of DNFs for me. Not the greatest reading month, and I'm hoping to start this month off with a bang, and this might just do it. So I'm very excited. There's lots of Butterball hijinks in this one too, which is making me so happy, and it's really interesting to see Delilah deal with watching her ex-fiance in this new relationship, kind of seeing her reaction to it, her emotions, like it's very interesting. I'm really enjoying that aspect as well. I'm excited to see what happens. We just had we had a pretty pivotal moment recently, and I don't know exactly where the direction of this mystery is going, so I'm really excited. I can't wait to finish this. I'm hoping to finish this within maybe an hour or two, hopefully, so like kind of by normal lunchtime, if you will, so that I can get a thriller maybe knocked out this afternoon. That is my goal, so we'll see where we're at. I'll check in soon. Five stars. 5 stars. Ah, it was so good. The ending, I put together part of it, but I didn't quite have the like how and all of that figured out, and it was so good. The reveal was really great, and I absolutely love it. We've also gotten to know a lot more about the other people in Delilah's life throughout this book, so including her Aunt Biz and Butterball the cat and Sonia, her best friend who runs the pizza place with her, and I love all of them. I can't wait to learn more about them. I'm loving learning more about their lives and personalities and Butterball's future and all of that, so I absolutely adore this. Highly recommend this series. I would definitely check it out. I don't want to give anything away, but just read this. It was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't put it down. I actually was going to put it down for a minute to finish, like take 20 minutes and post a video that I want to get up today, but I got sucked in where I was at and read another 50 pages. So I'm gonna go finish that video real quick now before grabbing a thriller, but hi guys, just popping in. I have only read like the first chapter, which was technically the prologue for this, but I just wanted to say I'm immediately intrigued, interested. The prologue really sucked me in, so I'm definitely excited for this. I'll give you guys an update once I actually get some reading in this, but the prologue really did it for me, so I'm feeling optimistic about this. We're hoping maybe this will be like an all 4 and 5 star blog, because I could really use that after last month. So I finished it. I loved it, I called it, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give this a 4 stars. I might let that settle a little bit overnight. If it changes, I'll let you know tomorrow, but giving this 4 stars, this was really solid. I think if you enjoy Lucy Foley as a thriller writer, I think you'll really like this. I will say that this thriller is dominated by unlikable characters. So if you're somebody who really wants someone you can sympathize with in a book, this may not be the thriller for you, because these characters are overall pretty unlikable, I would say, which is definitely, you know, hinted at with the synopsis. But the ending for this was thrilling. I had called one of the like bigger twists, but some of the other parts throughout this book completely caught me off guard. Some of the scenes in this were really intense, I will say that. So if you, I would just say be cautious, maybe look up some trigger warnings if you have anything that you're particularly concerned about, because this does get pretty dark in some aspects. I don't want to say anything as a spoiler, but if you're concerned, maybe look up some trigger warnings because it's definitely pretty dark. I definitely know the next book I'll be reading will be something cozier because this was intense. I really enjoyed it though. I thought the pacing was really well done. I feel like I said earlier, it wasn't a slow burn. You definitely had some drama and suspense building up early on. You didn't have to wait too long for like some payoff, but it definitely at the end was just like boom, 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 and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I liked how it wrapped up. I was a little bit surprised with the like second to last chapter. I thought that was an interesting way to wrap up that kind of part of the plot. I thought it was interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but I think it was okay. Like that part was okay, but everything else I was really pleased with. I was excited that I called it, but it didn't take away from the thrill for me because I was really on the edge of my seat the whole time, like is it this? Like did I get it? So yeah, I personally really enjoyed this. Like I said, I feel like the characters are described well enough and have different unique voices and ways of speaking with their inner monologues so that even though you're jumping between 4 different points of views, you're not confused. Within like 40 pages I kind of had it down when I was switching back and forth, so I wasn't confused with whose head I was in, so I felt like that was really well done. That the pacing was well done. I'm really sad because right before this I looked up the author and this is the only thriller she has out according to Goodreads. And I want to read more. I really want to read more of this. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a very twisty, fun, fast-paced summer thriller. This is fun. It's on a remote island, so you have the isolation trope, which I personally love. I saw some people say this was described as like a Lord of the Flies meets And Then There Were None, and I would say that was a good kind of description to give you an idea of some of the tropes and things throughout this. I thought that was really fun. I thought this was a really satisfying read. Like I said, the characters are widely unlikable for the most part, so there's not really a lot of characters you're really rooting for, but I did find it fun just to see everything just falling apart as all these secrets and things were coming out. So it was definitely a really entertaining read. I personally really enjoyed this. At least a 4-star read for me. Gonna let that reading settle. So I think tonight I'm gonna start Misfortune Cookie by Vivien Chien. So I'll probably give you an update in the morning because it's getting a bit later. It's like 5:30 right now. So I'll probably start this before bed. I'm gonna go move around a little bit because I've been sitting for quite a while, but I'm really excited. This book should be really good. I love the Needle Shot Mystery series and it's nice and cozy, and that'll be like a nice breath of fresh air after how heart pounding in your chest the thriller was. So I'm excited for that. So far so good with the readathon, and I'll give you guys an update in the morning. Hi guys, so it is Sunday now and it's a little later than I wanted to be checking in. It's actually about noon. Long story short, I went to church this morning. That was great. And then we were going to stop by and grab some groceries real quick after church, and we decided to get a smoothie at Jamba Juice, and I had a bit of an allergic reaction to one. Not like seriously, I'm fine, but yeah, it wasn't great. It's actually the second time it's happened there, and I got a different smoothie than I did the other time. I got fruit smoothies both times, and the ingredients list, like these are all fruits that I eat regularly. So I don't know, I guess I'm just not a Jamba Juice person, but I don't know. So I had to lay down a little bit after we got back, but I'm checking in now, and I did get a lot of reading done on Misfortune Cookie last night, and it's going really well. Like this could definitely be a 4 or 5 star. This vlog is going really well, minus the earlier today a little bit, but the reading is going great. So Misfortune Cookie, we have Lana, her sister Anna Mae, and her really Americanized Aunt Grace in California. I am loving Aunt Grace's character so much. I think she is a fabulous character. She's everything like I want to be. She's a really awesome child-free woman. She was previously married but is now divorced, like sounds like pretty happily. She has a pretty lavish lifestyle. She loves her job and her career. She's got a lot of friends, and she knows the journalist who is the one who's unfortunately the victim in this mystery, and she gets Lana to help her because she knows about Lana's past history solving crimes. And it's really interesting to see because Aunt Grace is a lot like Lana, and Lana's mother, Betty, is a lot like her older sister, Anna May. So a lot of times Anna and Lana will be arguing and Aunt Grace will be sitting there smiling because it reminds her a lot of her own sisters. So I really, really want, on the very, very slight chance that the author would ever see this clip, please bring Aunt Grace back in future books. Please. I love her character and I really want to see her interact with Lana's mom in person, her sister. I need this. I really want to see them interact. I think it would be absolutely so much fun. I'm enjoying the character growth and development and really seeing the two sisters, Anna and Lana, like kind of bond and try to see each other's points of view on different topics and their personality differences, because Lana is a little bit more, you know, free-spirited. She's not as rigid or like as much of a planner. She like kind of wings it a lot more, and Anna is very type A, very perfectionistic. Like she wants to plan every aspect that she plans more than I do, which is pretty good. So I like seeing the differences in their characters. I like seeing them all interact. I think it's really beautiful how they're supporting each other during this, and the mystery itself has been really interesting. The sleuthing has been daring in some ways, which I've really enjoyed, and I just love the cover. I mean, how gorgeous are these colors? So I'm on chapter 31, so I got about 200 some pages in last night. I actually fell asleep reading the book, like I was like just laying there with the book, but it was so good and I didn't want to put it down, so I ended up reading it until I fell asleep, and like my body was just like, well, you're gonna sleep, so here you go. But it was really good. I'm really enjoying this. So I have about 80 or so pages left in this, so that shouldn't be too hard to finish up, probably within the next hour or so. Hi guys, I'm here with an update. I have changed into some comfy reading clothes with my Scooby-Doo here, and I've gotten some good reading done, so we're gonna go ahead and go over that. So I did finish Misfortune Cookie, and I loved it. The ending was super dramatic and suspenseful, and I really loved the conclusion. I really want more Aunt Grace in future books. Please. Please, please, please have her come out to Cleveland. I want to see her and the mom, Lana, her sisters, react and like argue like Anna May and Lana. I feel like that's fun. I feel like the two sisters, Anna and Lana, really bonded over this trip. It was really interesting to see their different personalities as they solved this mystery, although Anna was more of a reluctant accomplice in this sense, whereas Aunt Grace and Lana were, you know, fully into it, like, let's solve this, let's do it. I enjoyed this. I thought the mystery was well thought out, but the ending for this was really good. The plot was great. This one really shone in particular for the characters. I always love Lana. She's one of my favorite cozy mystery sleuths just in general, but I really loved her in this book, and I love seeing her relationship with her sister and her aunt, who's a new character to us, and I want more of her aunt. So the characters were my favorite part of this. The plot was solid. I thought the location was really fun. This was going to be a good one for a winter reprieve because it basically takes place during winter, I think like early December, so it's snowing a lot in Cleveland, but they go on this California trip and it's all like sunshine and nicer weather, so that's kind of a fun one. This might be a fun one to save for a little bit later into the year if you like to read seasonally. I thought this was really good. I'm gonna say like a 4.5 stars. It was really fun. It was easy to read, easy to fly through. The plot was great. The characters are great. I don't really have anything to complain about. I love just in general this author's writing style. I think it's so great. I love the Needle Shot mystery series, and I'm hoping in the future she'll start another cozy mystery series because I would love to see her writing style applied to other characters and storylines. That would be so amazing. So I'm hoping in the future maybe she'll have another cozy mystery series that I can love on, and I really hope she brings Aunt Grace back. Please. Please bring Aunt Grace back. I loved her. I thought she was amazing. So I'm interested, and there was also some interesting family history that came up, and I kind of want to know more about that to see if, I don't know, if they're going to take that any further with the plot or if they're going to kind of leave it at that. I don't know. We'll see. So this was great. I highly recommend the Needle Shot mystery series across the board. It's just an excellent mystery series. I think I gave Death by Dumplings, the first book in the series, 3.5 stars. It was a really good read, but book 2 is where it really picked up for me and became like a strong favorite series. So I definitely recommend the series. Check it out. This is great. Now, on the other hand, I am 70 pages into The Good Ones by Polly Stewart. I've had the thought to DNF. I've had the thought. Okay. A few things. The main character, Nicola, who, and we're reading from like one perspective for this book, we're reading from her perspective as far as I know. I don't like her. She's kind of insufferable. And this is different from She Started It, because She Started It was like this high entertainment, almost like reality TV, where you're watching and, you know, it's kind of fun to dislike the caricatures of the people, and you kind of like hate watch, I guess. Is that a term? I don't know. That sounds so mean. But you know, like it's like they make like villains out of every character because they show like the worst elements. And that's what She Started It was like, where it was super thrilling, very fast paced and fun, and the characters were widely dislikable. I didn't have too many characters I was really rooting for, but I still liked them at some, like in some aspects. Like they all had some redeemable qualities for the most part. So far with Nicola, the more I learn about her, the more I'm like, I don't like you. I don't like you. The writing style for this is beautiful. I will give it that. Polly Stewart has a gorgeous writing style. Like the way she describes everything, it's very descriptive and flowy, but not overly so, but it's very beautiful. However, so far it's been very slow paced. I don't know if this is just a really slow burn thriller, or if this is not, if it's going to turn out to be one of those books where it really should have been classified as like a mystery or something else. I don't know. But so far I'm not loving it. It just feels like nothing's really happened. Usually, you know, like the synopsis for the book was basically Nicola comes back to town after all these years, after her friend Lauren had disappeared years ago, and Nicola comes back, she takes a teaching job, and it's taking us forever just to establish what's in the synopsis, because usually, you know, the basic framework for the story in the synopsis, that usually is established pretty quickly, because that way the author can get into the plot and everything. But so far it's just like we're taking forever to establish the framework. I don't know. I'm gonna give this a little bit further. We're gonna see if I get sucked in. I hope. There also appears to be some kind of love triangle thing happening, and I'm just like, no, please no. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be really relevant to the ending or thrill or something, but right now I'm just like, please, no. I hate love triangles. I'm not a romance reader in general, and of course this isn't advertised as a romance, but of all things, if you're going to include some kind of romantic subplot in your book, please don't let it be a love triangle. I beg of you. I really, really hate love triangles. I know some people love them, but I feel like a lot of people it's like love or hate, like myself, where we're just like, no. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an update in a little bit. I should have listened to my gut. I should have listened, guys. I should have listened to that little voice that was like, DNF, DNF, DNF. Why did I do this to myself? Okay. I just finished this. My thoughts are all over the place, and I'm irritated. I'm really irritated. I'm gonna start off by saying, one, I feel like this was misclassified as a thriller. I'm not a publisher, you know, I don't have like professional experience in the industry, but in my opinion, this was more of like a coming of age story. It felt more like a character study with an overarching mystery that kind of connected to the coming of age story. It wasn't a thriller to me. Like there was no point in this except for like an occasional scene at the end where there was some like possible danger, but it really overall there wasn't a lot of suspense. It was really just like this in-depth character study. And to be fair, the front does say, the quote they have on here, they call it a taut thriller, an elegant exploration of loss and the haunt of past mistakes. A true page-turning mystery, but I would have to strongly disagree with the description of thriller and the page-turning part. Definitely mystery, there's a mystery, but I would classify this first as maybe just like fiction, like a coming-of-age story, and then mystery is like a subgenre. I really wouldn't advise this if you're looking for a thrilling mystery or thriller. I would not recommend this. So the character Nicola, I absolutely hate her. I cannot stand her. I really, and not in the entertaining way like She Started It, where a lot of the characters were awful, but it was entertaining, you know? So it was just fun. You had a fun time. This, I wasn't really having a fun time reading it because there really weren't any thrills or intrigue, and then the ending for this, we'll get back to that in a minute. But Nicola, the more I read on, the more I was like, I don't like this person at all. I really don't like this person. So she's a teacher, right? She didn't care one like cent for her students. I was so there were so many scenes. There was this one scene, and I'm going to keep this as spoiler free as possible, where this student tells her that they have like this, they're having mental health struggles. They're seriously considering harming themselves. And she continues to push on to ask them questions about something related strictly to herself after they just told her this. And I was flabbergasted. I mean, I get it, you know, she's freaked out, you know, there's some freaky things happening, she wants answers, but when someone tells you that, I mean, they're looking at ending things and you just keep going, and this is a minor, and this is your student who you allegedly liked before this, like had some regard for, what? Isn't that, I mean, I'm not a teacher, but isn't there, I don't know, besides just the general ethics of that, like hopefully any adult would take some action to help someone, but as a teacher, and this is specifically your student, is there not like some kind of code of conduct or, I don't know, legal obligation to do something? And it's a thriller. I can suspend some disbelief, like it doesn't have to match like the laws or anything perfectly, but this, I was just stunned. I was sitting there like, how could anybody with even half a conscience, especially someone who is in this profession as a teacher and this is their student, how could anyways, okay, so we've covered that I don't think this is a thriller, it's more of a coming of age story. It did explore grief in an interesting way. The writing style throughout was, like I said, it was very beautiful. I loved the actual writing style, not necessarily for a thriller, but just how beautiful the writing was. I will say that was enjoyable, but I hated the main character, and since we're only reading from her point of view, and this really wasn't a thriller with like high entertainment value, it was more of like a coming of age, like her story, exploring grief, and since I hated her, that really didn't bode well. And then the ending. I'm trying so hard to talk about this without giving any spoilers, but I'm so irritated. The ending wrapped up very quickly, too quickly for my taste. And it left us with a lot of unanswered questions about the characters we had been following all along. And that really bothers me because especially because this is such a character-driven story, I really wanted some closure, and I didn't get that really. Like, it just kind of jumped to the ending and then nothing more about like the resulting fallout and like what, like the, you know, kind of just a wrap up of what happened to the characters, just a little bit, just so we know their general fate. I didn't really get the sense of that, and that frustrated me, and it didn't come across in a clever way to me where it was like intentionally ambiguous. To me at least, it just felt very abrupt and rushed, and I didn't care for it. So yeah, in short, this is, I'm gonna give this 2 stars because, like I said, the writing style itself, very beautiful, very well written. Maybe not my taste for a thriller specifically, but the writing, I can't say anything about, like, bad against it. It was beautifully written, but the plot, the way this book was described as a thriller and didn't match up to that, and then the ending and the fact that the main character was so unlikable, but not entertaining to follow, like, like, if you're gonna make an unlikable character for me to follow, it better be very entertaining, you know? I need that entertainment value, but just the more I read about her, the more irritated I felt. And then I also just, if you've read this, let me know. I don't understand why Nicola cared so much about what happened to Lauren. I realize it was a big impact on the town, a small town that she lived in, so, you know, it had the ripple effect there. I realized that Lauren and her were friends, but we really get no reason to, why are they friends? I cannot figure it out, because there were scenes where it would jump back and tell about her, you know, her memories of certain nights in like high school and stuff like that. And her and Lauren weren't friends. Like, Lauren was a pretty awful person. I don't understand it. And then we're just supposed to fast forward and believe that they were really good friends before she died, even though that was only a couple years later. Like, there was no explanation for why Nicola cared so much about what happened to Lauren. We had other characters in this book who were much more connected to Lauren, who cared far less about what happened to her, like her past husband and stuff like that, and I was like, what? I don't understand why Nicola cared. There wasn't a good driving motivator, in my opinion. I really didn't understand it, and maybe if it had wrapped up and there was a really conclusive ending about Nicola, maybe I would have kind of understood. Maybe if we'd seen her reaction and stuff more, and like kind of seen the aftermath of the ending with Nicola, maybe that would have kind of put all the pieces together where, oh, this is what she was looking for. She was looking for closure with this, you know, aha moment or something. But I didn't get that. I don't understand why she cared so much. I can't. We're just gonna put this aside. I can't do it. So I'm gonna say that was unfortunately kind of disappointing. I really was looking forward to that book. It just sounded really interesting. It sounded like a plotline I would enjoy, but it really didn't deliver. Fortunately, everything else you read in this vlog, I loved. Misfortune Cookie, Ashes to Ashes, Crust to Crust was great. She started it, was great. So 3 out of 4 reads, top notch, like 4 to 5 stars. This one kind of about, you know, not the greatest ending to this vlog, but overall an amazing reading vlog. Thank you guys so much for tagging along with me. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Did you enjoy them? What were your thoughts on them? You know, I'd love to hear your thoughts even if they're different from my own, because that's what's fun about reviewing and talking about books, to see other people's opinions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do post new videos every week on this channel, especially in the mystery and thriller genre, and I'd love to have you around. And thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!